Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Supernaturalist, the podcast where I break down every monster, ghost, and creature from Supernatural with all the you crave. I'm your host, Shelly Meyer, and today we're diving into Season 1, Episode 9, Home. This episode takes Sam and Dean back to their roots, the Winchester childhood home in Lawrence, Kansas. But returning home isn't always comforting, especially when a poltergeist is haunting the place. Let's unpack who or what we're dealing with, the history behind the spirit, and how the Winchesters deal with it. So, poltergeists are among the most infamous spirits in folklore. Traditionally, they're mischievous or vengeful entities that cause physical disturbances. They throw objects, they slam doors, they break windows, and they create unexplained noises. Unlike ghosts tied to a specific trauma, poltergeists are often associated with psychic energy, usually emanating from a living person, such as an emotionally unstable child or a family in turmoil. In history, the poltergeist attacks were sometimes blamed on supernatural possession, curses, or just residual emotional energy. Famous cases from the past include the Bellingham poltergeist in England and the Schneider poltergeist in Germany. Reports of physical objects moving, fires starting, and violent disturbances. On Supernatural, poltergeist is treated as spirits bound to a location by intense emotions, usually anger, grief, or vengeance. They differ from other spirits because their MO is entirely physical, tossing objects, causing injuries, and frightening residents. In this episode, the spirit haunting the Winchester house is a classic poltergeist with a deeply personal history. Its attacks are directed at Jenny and her children, who are now living in the house Sam and Dean grew up in. Why this spirit? Well, the house is the epicenter of emotional trauma. Sam and Dean's mother, Mary Winchester, was burned on the ceiling when Sam was just 6 months old. This intense history of fear, danger, and resentment left emotional residue, creating the perfect environment for a poltergeist to manifest. The spirit's MO in this episode aligns with classic poltergeist lore. Objects flying across rooms, doors slamming on their own, windows shattering, physical attacks aimed at scaring or harming residents, scratches in the walls that sound like maybe rats. But unlike some lore where poltergeists might leave on their own, this one does not relent until it is confronted directly. Enter Missouri Mosley, a psychic with a talent for sensing lingering spirits. She immediately identifies the poltergeist as bound to the house itself, which is crucial in figuring out how to handle it. Missouri explains that the spirit's anger is residual, a mix of trauma and energy likely tied to the house's dark history. Her insight is key because she helps the Winchesters understand this isn't a vengeful ghost or of a person, but a poltergeist bound to residual energy. Also, physical removal of the spirit isn't enough. The emotional energy must be addressed. So, in folklore, poltergeists are often banished through spiritual cleansing, exorcism, or confronting the source of the energy itself. On Supernatural, the Winchesters combine traditional methods with hands on approaches. Sam and Dean secure the house by putting hex bags in the walls in every corner of the house, which banishes the poltergeist, but only for a short while. They use rituals to contain the poltergeist energy. And Missouri's physical guidance is crucial here. She pinpoints the source and the emotional intensity that fuels this haunting. Ultimately, it's Mary Winchester's ghost who makes the poltergeist leave the house. The spirit departs once the residual energy is acknowledged and addressed, preventing further harm to Jenny and her children. Home is a fascinating episode because it combines poltergeist lore rooted in history and folklore. It has emotional storytelling ugh, tied to the Winchester family. It has practical supernatural hunting techniques. It's a perfect example of Supernatural's ability to mix family drama with ghost hunting lore, making even a haunted house feel personal. And this one really is. So if you're a fan of ghost stories, guys, or emotionally driven hauntings, this episode is a must watch. Honestly, the entire series is a must watch, repeatedly. So that's it for today's Supernaturalist episode of Home. I explored the history of poltergeist, why this spirit targeted Jenny and her children, and how Sam, Dean, and Missouri Mosley worked together to finally put it to rest. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so you never miss a monster, ghost, or supernatural breakdown. Next week, I'll dive into Season 1, Episode 10, Asylum, and explore the horrors of mental institutions and the spirits that linger within. I'm Shelly Meyer, and thank you for listening to Supernaturalist. Stay curious, stay spooky, and remember, the supernatural is always closer than you think.